What's up, everybody? Today I wanted to answer one of my most frequently asked questions, and that question is, how do I stay positive knowing the injustice happening to animals, immersing myself in that, going to slaughterhouses, talking about cruelty all the time, sharing graphic images, watching all this thing. How do you stay positive in a world that is, all of a sudden so much more cruel than you ever realized it was? So many vegans struggle with this, and it gets them down, and a lot of people get depressed. One way I describe it is like you've woken up in a nightmare, and before everything sort of seemed pretty fine in the world, and then one day you wake up and you realize, wow, this world is actually so much more violent and cruel, and there's so much more suffering than you kind of realized before. So it's like a heavy hitting realization when you go vegan, and obviously there's a lot of positives, but that's a pretty heavy thing to kind of come to terms with about the world that we live in. A lot of people struggle with it, and so I get asked it all the time because I stay positive, but it's not just by accident that I'm a positive person. It's actually quite deliberate, and it's there's different techniques that I use to maintain my positivity, specifically around this area. So a way I'll describe it is by giving you a scenario, and that scenario would be when I'm at a slaughterhouse, when I'm doing, for example, a slaughterhouse vigil, where we go to the slaughterhouses, we take footage of the animals, and we show people, what's happening to animals, and help people connect that this is a real animal, not just a package that you buy in the supermarket called food. This is happening to real live animals. So we go to these slaughterhouses regularly, and it's hard. And I'll tell you what I do there, because some people like really break down and they're rattled for days after this, and I used to feel like that, but I don't really feel like that as frequently or for as long or as intensely as I used to. And this is what I do now. So when I'm in a slaughterhouse, instead of focusing on how many animals are coming in and how full these trucks are and how many trucks there are coming in, I don't let that weigh me down. Instead, I look around and I see all the activists there, and I think, man, look at all these activists. Like, look at all these people who care. There's more here now than there were last week. There's more that week than there was the week before. More and more and more. This is so good. That's what I think about. Instead of thinking about the horrific fate that is about to happen to these animals when they get inside that slaughterhouse and how they're going to be brutally killed, and dwelling on the gas chamber and dwelling on them getting stabbed in the throat, and I don't think about that. Like, I know what happens. I know all about it. It's there. And I don't ignore it or pretend it doesn't happen. But what I do really pay attention to and give focus on, instead of thinking about all those animals, I think, man, how many more vegans are there in the world now? How many people are going vegan? Everyone I speak to is going vegan. It's becoming so much more normal. I'm getting all these messages every day. Everyone I speak to has got a story about how they went vegan, why they went vegan, someone they know who's just gone vegan, their family members going vegan. I think about that. I think about the other side of the coin. When I think about how far away from our goal that we are, like abolishing animal exploitation, how far away we are. We're a long way away. No doubt, a small percentage of the world is vegan right now. Of course that's true. But I don't spend all my time dwelling on that. We're never going to get there, I don't think like that. Instead, I think, man, what a great time this is. Veganism is spreading so fast, and it's because of us. So I think of what we're doing. I don't think of how far away the goal is. I think, look at what we're doing to achieve our goal. Look at all these people. When we take this footage of these animals at these slaughterhouses, these videos get seen by tens of thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people, sometimes millions of people. Wow, we're doing such a great job to raise awareness. And each thing that we do, every little action, every little video, every post we make, every conversation we have is getting us a little bit closer to that goal. So I just flip it. I just see the other side of the coin, you know what I mean? And the benefit of doing this, you're not ignoring it. You're not pretending that it doesn't happen. It's nothing like that. What you are actually doing is shifting your perspective. Both is there, right? Both is there. All that cruelty. You could spend the rest of your life dwelling on all this cruelty. But where's that going to get you? Nowhere positive. You'll end up just hating the world and you'll become full of hate. There's all this good happening as well. And this is an area where we could really spend a lot more time focusing on the benefits of doing that. Instead of feeling helpless, you will feel hopeful. Instead of feeling exhausted and burned out, you will feel energized. Instead of feeling pessimistic, you'll feel optimistic. You know, you'll feel good about what's happening and you'll feel excited about it, and that will give you the energy you need to keep fighting hard for it, and to realize that you are making a difference and that what you do matters. You know, and that's the kind of positive vibes that are gonna fuel us for longer and help us feel like we make a difference, you know, and give us the feeling that we should try to do this and that. And it does matter that we go to these vigils and make these videos and have these conversations, because it actually does, you know. And you never know who you're going to influence. You might influence someone who influences 50 million people, you know. But the point is that this is the work that needs to be done regardless. This is the job that has to happen. So if we're going to do this work anyway, why not at least, for our own best interest, if nothing else, focus on all the good of the job that we're doing. And just in my experience, because this is a shift in my perspective, I didn't used to do it like this. I used to get bummed out for days after a slaughterhouse vigil, but what I do now, man, I go and go and go and go all day, like, you know, in one way or another. I'm always going, and I've never had this much energy to do it. I used to burn out every week, all the time. And I'm not like that now. Now I'm like so full of energy, and it's because now I'm coming from this place that is positive and that is seeing the good in all the action that's happening and all the things that are happening. And more importantly than really that is that I'm not giving anywhere near as much of my time and focus and energy into dwelling on how bad things are, how negative things are. I know things are bad. We all know things are bad. Why make it worse for ourselves by dwelling on it? You know what I'm saying? I think we'll be more effective activists for a more sustained amount of time, and, you know, be more positive, which I think attracts more people if we you have to be deliberate, if we deliberately give our attention to all the good that's happening. And you have to really, sometimes it's hard to do that, you know, but I would say that if you're kind of feeling down about it, you know, you're feeling down about a certain thing, like you just saw these pigs go into a slaughterhouse, you know, spend some minutes being deliberate and sitting there and thinking, okay, what's good about this situation? Well, we're here, you know, at least we're at this slaughterhouse, at least we're bearing witness, at least we're sharing this message, and people will watch these videos and read our posts, and that will inspire change in them, and etc., etc. Like, sit down. And if you do that exercise with yourself, I guarantee it'll make you feel better, even if it's only a little better. But you might feel a lot better. And I'm just telling you from my own experience that this has really changed. You know, I feel like I could do this forever now. This has really changed me and made me just feel so much more full of energy and enthusiasm for this. I still burn out sometimes, you know, not getting enough sleep and all that, but it's different. It's different, man. So I highly suggest that you try to make that a practice, because trust me, the animals do not want us to be upset and depressed all the time about this. They just want us to be effective, man, and get active and get out there. And, you know, we're working hard. We deserve to be happy too. So don't feel like you need to feel guilty about being happy and about seeing the good in things. I think that the animals would want that, and I think we deserve that for our own life. We deserve to be happy. We're trying to do good and contribute to something good. So don't feel guilty about that. Enjoy your life. Focus on the good, and you'll be even more effective, in my opinion and experience, by default. So good luck, everyone out there who's struggling. I get ya. I'm feeling ya. I know where you're coming from. I hope you come out of it soon. But, you know, maybe don't just wait to come out of it. You can be active in pulling yourself out of that hole. And I'm trying to throw you a lifeline, because this is what helped me out of that hole. So good luck, good vibes, and yeah, let's keep spreading the love.